Alright, here we are for yet another Psalm draft. Wow, this is an interesting first pack. Molten Steel Dragon's incredibly good, can fit in any deck. Whereas Swarmlord, I mean, this guy, often the Infect decks, if they're fast, sometimes they'll stall and then lose control of the late game. This guy, if your opponent has any counters and they can't kill him immediately, I mean, he almost ends the game. I've only been able to play with him once, and he ended the game instantly when he came down. And I've played against him a few times, and if they were able to untap with him, they basically won the game also. And I do like playing Infect, so I think I might lean towards Swarmlord. Like, if I'm passing a Molten Steel and a Legionnaire, and Tanadon and Spinethopter, I don't think the people to my left are necessarily going to be going Infect. Like, yeah, I mean, if I take this guy first, I think this guy's going second, this guy's going third, maybe fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. I'm probably not wheeling anything from this pack. Maybe Mortis Dogs or the Apostle's Blessing. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Swarmlord, and we're just going to look for Infect and cross our fingers. While, like, Glistener Elf and Mutagenic Growth are both good in Infect, Green's underdrafted here, and one of those will probably wheel. I think Pith Driller is just the strong card here. Sometimes Shriek Raptor's going to wheel, and we can pick up maybe some kind of bizarre white, green splash black type build if we see enough white Infect guys in the next pack. So I think Pith Driller is just the strongest card, and it's definitely the pick here. Viral Drake is an incredibly strong card and fits in kind of that weird Infect deck. We see that there's a Lost Leonin, so we might again be wheeling some white Infect. And we could, like, this is a card you can splash for. Like, he can just end the game on his own as well. Or we could be playing some kind of green-blue version that just tries to win the game with him and Swarmlord late, like more of a control deck. It looks like blue's probably going to be open here, based on what we're being shipped. If you have Bladed Agents, I've actually played Corrupted Resolve once, and it was fairly decent. If you end up getting enough Bladed Agents, you know, to make sure that you have Infect early. It could be decent with, like, this guy who's just going to get through as well. Crest of Phyrexia is actually a pretty underrated card in Infect deck, but again, like, we're seeing so many of these white Infect guys that I really think they might start tabling. This is the point in time where, like, we could make the decision, like, if we're going to be going black-green, splashing blue, Crest of Phyrexia might be better. Often Crest of Phyrexia does table and go one of the last picks too. I think people undervalue this card. Against non-Infect decks, it's often just drawing E3. Against Infect decks, or with in Infect decks, it's a good finisher. I think I might go crazy and take a lean in here, and we might be green-white splashing blue. Since I've seen so many of the white Infect guys passing us. And right after I say that, we see a black Infect guy, but we also see Chain Throatseeker, which is decent in the splash. I don't really like playing Talisman if we're going Infect, because we're going to end up having probably a decent curve when everything's come together. We don't really need another big 6-drop type finisher, so I think I'm just going to take the Spectre, and we might end up in a more traditional Infect deck if these don't wheel. That could be a good choice, seeing another Spectre here. I also see, like, Growth could be a legitimate pick. I think there's enough pumps that we don't necessarily need to take it right now. I think Spectre's going to be just a stronger pick, and maybe we will be more in the traditional Infect build. As much as, like, this guy works in, like, a weird off-color Infect, because you're going to need a... you might need to get Infect creatures. I think we have enough that we don't need him, and I think just taking a Gremlin Mine here is going to be stronger. Gremlin Mine's a decent card. While not the best removal, it often has a target. I don't really want, or think we're going to be playing either of these. I think Probe is a fine card, especially in a deck where you might even be splashing something, because it can act as, make your deck down to 39 cards. The Blessing did wheel, which is kind of cool for us. I think we're just going to take it. We might not be playing it, but it's decent. So here's the thing. Somebody took the Glistener Elf, so somebody is also looking for the green infect strategy. Shriek Raptor came around, so we're probably going to follow that up with another Leonin. However, like, we could be looking at black-white, but I think Swarm Lord's so strong we don't want to abandon it right now. So I think we're just going to go with the mutagenic growth. Yeah, I mean, here's the other Lost Leonin. I don't really like playing Death's Head Cobra in an Infect deck, regardless, so I think we're going to take the Leonin. I'll take Core in case I get Wellsprings, but doubtful that we will be playing it. Yeah, I mean, these packs were a little odd in terms of how we want to structure our deck, since I really wanted that Glistener Elf to wheel. I don't think we'd be playing something like black-white, just because the power of Swarm Lord so strong, and green, like, later on, is going to have some infect stuff coming, whereas blue will not. More often than not, I think we're going to be playing just the standard black-green splashing blue here, since he's much stronger than the Leonins. But again, if we end up seeing a lot of white guys, it could be... Again, I mean, if taking the 2/3 Shriek Raptor is a gamble over this, because we might not see the white infect guys in this pack, but I think this would get played regardless, so I think it's the stronger pick. I like Spinovish Saw, but I like it in the right deck. Might not necessarily be best in our deck here, like a deck that's trying to win quickly, but I can't really see us first picking a Flincermite, and at the moment, like, Emissary could be the right pick over Spinovish Saw, because we are playing 3 colors. You notice there's no white infect guys, so it's improbable that we're going to get a ton of them, since we wouldn't be wheeling one in this pack. I do think Spine's the right play, though. Like, it's a powerful card that we do have the Phyrexia's Core, so it combos kind of well with that if we do need a late game plan. And I don't think taking like Flincermite is really worth it first pick here, and we might be able to pick up another Emissary or a Color Fixer, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Spine. This is Flesh Eater, clearly. Again, no white infect guys, so that's making us... I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of those 2 guys. I don't think we're going to have the option of even getting any of the guys wheeled, since we didn't see 2 in the first pack, and Flesh Eater is just quite clearly the strongest card here. Hopefully we wheel something like the Pista Strike, or even the Plague Maw Beast sometimes is decent, depending on how many creatures you have and what they are. I don't think we're going to see something like Morbid Plunder come around late. Wow. Yeah, Vat Miller's just incredibly good, and we're going with that right now. I don't think we're going to... Again, we might get a late Flincermite, but probably doubtful in this pack. Like, now the question is, do we want to play Sphere of the Suns? Because we'd be ramping to one of our better spells, and we'd be able to splash a little bit better. I think... Like, if we do want to ramp, like, we'd end up getting a Mirror later, and I think that would be a little bit stronger. This deck normally doesn't like ramping. I think just getting the Flincermite and going with a stronger curve is going to be better for us. Especially if we end up with like a Corpse Cur or something later. Really wish we'd seen a Rotwolf or something, but well. Here's a Blight Widow, which is probably the best infect creature we can get out of this pack, or out of these packs, aside from Rotwolf. It's a pretty easy to grab. And here, Plague Mirror here is perfect for us. I mean, that fulfills that ramping role, Sphere of the Suns. It doesn't fulfill the splashing role, but and it is a great attacker later. Signal Pest is actually pretty decent in our deck, since we do have a lot of early drop guys, but Rotwolf, or sorry, Plague Mirror is clearly the pick here. Yeah, I mean, we're looking pretty decent right now with our, well, we get a Septic Rats. Again, much better than Scourge Urban. He's a little slow. We're already looking at a pretty heavy black base. Septic Rats fits well in that and is probably one of the best 3-drops you can get. This is a great bronze metal late. Looks like we would have gotten a couple white guys, but not that big of a deal. In fact, yeah. I mean, the power of our green, it was just such that it's better to, like, and we're going to see some more green in the next pack. And good, we'll be able to Flincermite. Just taking really the only playable here in Vivisection. Don't think any of these are really playable. We don't really have enough creatures for Lead the Stampede, nor do we want to be casting out in turn 3, but probably the only thing we really care about. I'm not going to sideboard into the Forest Walker. In fact, we want them to be crushing us at the moment, so I think I'm going to take the Spire Servant. And yeah, Tangle Mantis is bad, but the only guy that could really... We're not going to play either of them. But that's the only one that somebody would play, so worth taking there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Infect guys. We don't have a way to splash, so we might not actually be splashing for that since we have such a commitment to the colors, even though it's so strong. Unless we end up getting like a Silver Mirror or something. Our curve right now doesn't really want Mirror. So yeah, it's quite possible we don't end up playing the Vital Drake, especially when we want to play like the Spine and the Phyrexia's Core combo. Though even then, like playing Phyrexia's Core might be risky with our commitments to color. And we open a Horde Smelter Dragon, which we are not able to take. It's actually not great against us, which is good to see. I think we just go ahead and take Untamed Might here with this first pick. Yeah, it's crazy seeing Horde Smelter there. Hopefully we wheel something like the Tangworm or the Replica. There's like one, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we probably won't. This pack's not very deep once you get past the first few cards. So yeah, we're just taking Untamed Might. Wow, this pack is incredibly deep. Well, we might actually wheel something out of this. I'm going to take the Clasp here. It's just the strongest card by far. But this pack has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 playables, and we'd want any one of 4 of them. So it's liable. Like we're probably gonna get like the Ichor back. I mean, Pinions isn't even horrible in our deck. But as I said, Clasp is just simply the best card here, and we're gonna go ahead and grab it. As good as Contagious Nim is, I think we don't really have any artifact removal. Much rather have Slice and Twine. And Contagious Nim is not... Wow, these are strong packs. Seeing Arrest and an Embersmith here. Still. And I don't know what other people are drafting to see this. I mean, and we've just been past an Embersmith. Like, we're literally seeing every color come through here. Trigon's an incredibly good card. Most powerful. I mean, I wish we could see a Silver Mirror in a pack that didn't have something crazy in it since we have the Vital Drake, but obviously Trigon's coming in here. We got a Sisbear again. I kind of wish we saw a Silver Mirror in a pack. Right now, we might not be splashing. Got a lot of playables already, and Sisbear is just an incredibly good Infect guy. It's too much to pass up for the Vital Drake. Wing Puncture is a decent sideboard card. We have so many Infect guys, no reason to ever play like Vector Asp that I think Wing Puncture. And this